Once again, C.B. DeMille Bretschker is flying his drone. Is going to kick off this show for us. He's going to give a haircut to anyone who needs one, Max Brennan. That deserves wild applause. Chris Bretschker, thank you, Rick. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our final show. This is the 10th show in 6 days. This is the Saturday final presser and awards, and we're going to do the press conference right away. I just want to congratulate everybody involved, from Christine Gribben's team to the broadcast team to all the sailors, all the sailors. And look at what a job these guys did in that match today. Jeffrey, Jordan, Bravo Zulu. I invented a new sailor today. There's a famous Canadian YouTuber, psychology. He's got millions of subs, named Jordan Peterson. And no joke, guys, I apologize, but when I signed off today, I said, congratulations, Jordan Peterson. And it wasn't Freudian. Jordy, I'm sorry. Jeffrey, I'm sorry if I mixed your names up. But nonetheless, bravo Zulu to all of you. And to everybody watching around the world, we've had a huge number of people watching the show today. But without further ado, please welcome my co-hoster. He's going to host the press conference, GovCup guru from Balboa Yacht Club, Andy Rose.
Morning, Tom.
Is it morning still?
I don't know.
God forbid.
How did I get jet lag? I haven't even been anywhere.
Have you seen a day like that any time in memory? Other than the Rose Cup was not bad, but I think this exceeded the Rose Cup.
Yeah, the quality of match racing is sort of a fascinating thing to me, and I'll tell you that was top quality. You know, we thought at the Rose Cup that in the finals we had seen one of the best finals we've ever seen. This one was one of the best and most interesting. The racing was very close, but it was terrific. But there were a few, sailboat racing provides a lot of surprises, like live kelp jumps out at you.
I told you there were sea monsters out here.
Well, that was our version. That's what he meant by that. It's kelp patties or sea monsters. You can't really blame the crew. We, on our boat, we don't have a lot of kelp around here, but we sail a lot in San Diego, and there's a lot there, and so we sort of always keep an eye out. But when you're in a match race and the other boat's never been more than about a boat length and a half from you, you ain't looking for kelp. But you're looking at the other boat. So anyway, we'll get into that.
Shall we get into the petit finale, or as we would call it here, the consolation match, and bring those two skippers up for a bit of a final interview?
Absolutely. Jack Egan and Marius Westerlin, please join us. You know, I was about to say, looking at Jack's uniform with his crew here and Jordan's uniform, and, you know, everybody brings out their best clothes for the press release, right?
Yeah, these are my best clothes.
Yeah. Poor deprived Swede, you know. Yeah, we really feel sorry for you, Marius. Well, so you guys had a great, you know, it got best of three or first to three. You need 2 points, and it ended up the first 2 races 1-1. And boy, you know, you could hardly tell if you had switched, you know, people on the boats. You both were sailing so well, and there were a number of times when, you know, we said, well, the boat ahead is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, and the boat behind is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Marius, why don't you generally talk about that before we talk about the third race? But actually, talk about the first race, and then we'll talk about the second almost race.
Yeah, so I think the first race we were struggling a little bit in the pre-start, and yeah, I think we managed to catch up quite a bit before the last downwind. But as a team, like, I'm really proud of the crew of the work they've done. But we've not practiced enough compared to the other teams, I feel, because I know Jack and all the other teams we faced here in the semifinals and in the petit final, they were doing really great maneuvers in the downwinds, and I think that's something we really need to work on for next year. So it was really rough for us when we were not having a big lead off the starting line. So
yeah, I think, though, I would say that, you know, compared to, I mean, last year, and this is no terrible thing, but last year you didn't do very well in the Governor's Cup. You know, Marius got last. Well, now he got second in the Worlds, and, you know, fourth here. So you know. And last year you said you struggled a little bit with boat speed. Well, boy, upwind at least, you were really fast. I mean, at least we noticed. Jack, do you think?
I agree. Marius brought the special stuff today. He was speedy.
Yeah, I mean, coming out of the tacks too, we noticed that we thought your tacks were actually a little better. And, you know, I've always thought that, I mean, tacks were really important. We always said if we can win the starts, tack better than the other boat, that we're highly likely to win the race, because, you know, you do about 7 or 8 tacks and suddenly that's 2 boat lengths, you know, because you're better. Well, Jack, how was the first race for your perspective?
I'm struggling to remember it, but
The reason I ask you is so am I. So
you know, we had a lot of great races with Marius, but yesterday he divulged some information that he really likes to chase in these boats. So I was using that to my advantage, and I know maybe it was the second race. One of them I got a little too excited with the leading and lost too much speed. But we were trying to take it to Marius in the pre-start because we knew he had the wheels upwind.
yeah, well, that's great. So then there was the second race, and I believe you were about to win 2-0, right?
Yeah, we were 45 seconds to the finish, I believe.
Yeah, so there was well, I won't go into the details, but I think the race committee did the right thing. But they were moving one of the gate marks, and were doing it fairly late in the downwind legs. And so when it became obvious that that had affected the second pair at least, they hoisted the cancellation of all rates of the abandonment of both races that were going. So sort of, you know, psychologically, what happens there? God, oh, this is great. You know, we're 3 boat lengths of finish. We're going to get third, and then, oh my God, what is that?
Yeah, no, it's tough. You know, there's so little margin for error in this fleet. We've been feeling that all week, and especially in these semifinals and petite finals. Usually don't get the extra break if you're looking for it. So that was a little tough to handle, but you know, I probably made 200 mistakes out there this week, so it's okay for the race committee to make one.
There you go.
He may take your job too, not
Well,
just
yeah.
Marius.
But Jack, just to get back in good with everybody, I think you might say something about how wonderful the boats are now.
Yeah, boats are great.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, you're back. So, so there were, I think, in the race that actually did decide the thing. There were quite a few lead changes. And tell us, Marius, the final and important race. What happened?
Yeah, so we were coming into the race a bit excited of the second chance we got there because of the race committee. So we're going into it with a nothing to lose mindset, and we gave it everything we had and managed to pass them after a bad start on that first downwind. But then before the last downwind, we were like a bit unsure of how we were supposed to sail the race, because it seemed like a lot of the time, if you were just first around the upwind mark, you had a rough time defending going all the way down. And I think you could see in the final as well, there was one race where there was a double overtake. I think Jeffrey overtook, and then Jordan overtook. And I think we need a bit more experience in those kinds of situations. And we didn't manage to hold it all the way down on that last downwind. So.
All right. Well, I guess we'll leave you guys, but you guys were terrific and great to watch, and all four. Well, all the teams from 1 to 12 were terrific here. I'm only one member of the selection committee, but Christine's another, and we could probably have a whole meeting here if we find everybody in the crowd. I think it's highly likely you'll be back. So we hope so.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Uh-oh. Excuse me. We are not having a coach's corner, although I thought about it. Marius, can you see the monitor here? This monitor? Can you tell us what that is? Here, look right here.
I can't see really. Wait, can I come closer?
Yeah, please. You want my glasses?
Oh, Dreamcatcher, yeah.
Right. Now, Marius, last night you told us about the Dreamcatcher, and I'm surprised. This is a Native American. This is a First Nation thing here in the U.S. How did you know about that?
No, I didn't. You just told me, so. That was
I did not tell him.
Jeffrey brought that up.
Jeffrey told me.
Marius, had obviously been, only marijuana is legal in this state, Marius. But he must have gotten into something else, because he said, I had, these dreams and hallucinations and the whole thing. And he said he was just trying to get into Jeffrey's head. And then Jeffrey came up and said, I don't know how to respond to that. I've never seen Jeffrey speechless. And then Jeffrey brought up the Dreamcatcher. So we may invite you back, but we're going to be prepared this time. All right? Okay, thanks, guys.
If you are just joining us on our 10th and final live show, webcast of the week, thank you very much. We had a huge turnout starting Monday night, over 1,200 views of your Monday night, terrific Monday night show, and all the live stuff in between. We're now to the finals, and we're going to have the two finalist skippers up. Then we're going to have the winner and his crew up. So be prepared. Put your makeup on. Get some hair, hair and makeup. Andy, you want to bring up the two finalists?
Jeffrey Peterson in second place, and the new winner of the Governor's Cup, Jordan Stevenson. Jeffrey, sit down there.
Black and white.
Well, that was an impressive final. That last race was, we thought we saw the two best ranch races ever yesterday. I think we now have seen our third. You guys, I would love to have counted, when you're commentating, I can't take notes and stuff. I would love to count how many lead changes there were in the races between you two. It was like being very polite. Oh, no, go after you. Oh, no, please, you go ahead,
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes down.
Yeah.
We're pretty polite people.
Well, you know me. I mean, I've never been accused of yelling on a yacht race, so I feel exactly the same way. Yeah, right. Okay, let's start with Jeffrey. Let's talk about the first race briefly. We'll just do each race briefly. We won't go on forever here, but tell us about the first race.
So first race, I think we came off the line. No, honestly, yeah, they kind of blur together. But I think we came off the line, with a little bit of a lead. Kind of led around the racetrack a little bit. I think maybe you had passed us by the weather mark, and then we passed you on the run, and we were. I think that where the turning point of the race is at the top mark the second time around. We had set ourselves up. We dialed you just before the starboard ley line, thinking that we get it just enough to get over the top of him there at
By
the
the
weather
way,
mark.
that was one of the more effective dial downs. You didn't get a lot, but you got a little bit.
Yeah, I think hindsight being 2020, we would have just preferred not to dial down there. When we tacked on port ley line, what we thought was one overlay, because we knew he was going to come in from the starboard corner and he was going to own the zone, and we had to give him room to round. And we thought we had done enough, given him enough room, pinching up, but according to the umpires, they disagree with us. And when Jordy put the bow up inside, put the bow down. Had some good Hollywood, stunts there, but honestly, we earned it.
Hollywood.
He was really selling it to the umpires. Maybe their checks are they arrived today in the mail or something, but no. No, in all seriousness, it was real close. We didn't really leave him a lot of room there. We didn't want to, give him the whole mark and let him just round inside of us free and clear. So we tried to push it as much as we could and found the line, copped a double there. And, once that happens on the downwind, we tried to clear it. But by then, we were out the back. So.
All right, so let's go into the second race. Jordan, you don't have to comment on all that. Let's go into the second race.
I'm going to be honest, I can't remember much about the second race, Andy. I think from memory... I did?
No, we did.
Oh, you did. All right. Is that when you started at the pin?
Yeah, we started at the pin. We did 2 tacks, and on the second tack, you were the leeward boat there, tack through, got us in the corner through the tack. As you're going through a tack, we weren't doing much to avoid because we thought you were going to tack clear behind. He clipped us in the stern. We copped a penalty there, and I think we did the penalty kill, but couldn't quite get back around you there to at the finish. But I think it was really close. That one was, I think, you had rolled. We killed the penalty. You rolled us. We tried to roll at the finish, but you got a credit. Yeah.
That was probably the best race, to be honest. Actually,
Thank you, Jordan. That was a great description.
That's great. I think that's right. That probably was. That was a terrific race. Well, then let's go to the third, fourth, and fifth races in this 4-race series.
I think the next one was when we hit the weed, right? Is that?
Yeah, and I had to remember which of these. So Jordan goes in, with a 2-0 lead and gets out there, and the committee then changed the marks and decided to abandon the race. When we were actually talking about it's probably not politically correct anymore, but the fat lady was on stage, even if she wasn't singing yet. And then all of a sudden, our roving boat, where Tommy Spithill did a terrific job, said, well, they've really slowed down here. And we looked out there, and yeah, they really had slowed down. And Tommy predicted, and we all sort of thought, I'll bet they got the sea monster or the kelp. And you did, and obviously came in and lost the race to Jeffrey. And, as I think it was, that must have been disappointing, because you were pretty much winning and that to happen. And you rounded the mark, if there was a single mark, you rounded it correctly. Jeffrey, still thinking there was a gate, rounded it incorrectly. So you would have beat him by about a day.
I just don't know how he put the weed there. That was pretty good effort.
It's tough, huh?
No, the weed was next. First was the gate. Okay, so then we're going into the third race. And again, close, lead changes, the whole thing. Finally, Jordy ekes out a win and stopped with the kelp. And I said in the press release that after the race with the mark, problem, I said, I'm glad Jordy is not a superstitious sailor like a lot of us, because he might have thought, what the hell can go wrong now? And then it did. So Jeffrey gets a win, all right? So now it's 2-1. That sort of puts, Jeffrey's back in the game. What was your, psychology at that point, Jeffrey? I'll bet it was like, oh, cool, this is great.
Yeah, we were stoked to not be done yet there, to get another one and get another shot at it. And, we just kept saying, hey, boys, like, we ain't done yet. We're still in this. Like, keep fighting, as far as we were concerned. we just had, we always counted as how many more races to the win. So we're like, all right, boys, 2 more races. The last one was super close. But the mentality of the boys there, just keep working hard, keep finding the shift, keep pushing the boat, and I think we did a really good job of that. But obviously, Jordy came away with the win in the end.
So at this point, Jordy is thinking, well, let's see, what's next, to plague a locust? At any rate, so then Jordy, on your boat, I mean, neither of those was really, you didn't have much to do with either of those, and it happened. And now, what are you thinking here? That, Jesus, what do I have to do to win this thing?
Yeah, no, that's a good point, Andy. To be honest, we haven't really had any pressure on ourselves all week, just because of the fact that we haven't sailed in a couple of years. We kind of use that as an excuse. I got a bit of a head knock yesterday. If we'd lost, I would have pulled that card as well. But no, in all seriousness, we've kind of had the approach that we're not coming in expecting to do well or expecting to win. We just need to kind of learn and take each race as it comes. So we just kept the same kind of mindset going into the last one.
So, the last one, you developed, stop me if you've heard this story, but you finally eked out a bit of a lead. And the question always with the commentators and everybody is, well, do they have enough space to kill a penalty? Because you got a penalty and had one carried around the whole course. So you decided, first of all, Tommy Spithill and Christoph Killian, our former Governor's Cup winner, were speculating on, you were almost far enough on the weather leg to do it, but what was the thinking there that, no, we better just keep stretching out?
Yeah, no, I've quite liked doing spins on the finish actually this week. I think these boats, you can kind of spin them on a dime, so once you're kind of within a length of the finish line and you can drift over that last little bit, it's potentially quite a powerful move. Obviously, we left it, a little bit up to fate there with the 1 or 2 inch difference between us. But yeah, that's kind of been my preferred way to do it this week.
The keels in these boats are very narrow, both in aspect ratio and chord depth. So the boats go sideways almost immediately when you slow it down. Well, in that case, it actually helps you because you're drifting over the line as you do it. Well, needless to say, you needed a perfect one. You got a perfect one, and then Jeffrey gets a puff. That must have seemed that 3 or 4 seconds there must have seemed like an eternity when the boat's trying to turn down and it's stopped, and here comes this big spinnaker behind you.
Yeah, it does. It seems like hours. You're kind of sitting there just as a duck in the water, and it's like, what's going to happen next? You can't really control it. You just kind of go for it.
Well, again, it is great to have you here. This is Jordan's last year. He would have been here the last 2 years, but for COVID and travel restrictions, I cannot, congratulate you enough. And we're going to keep you up here because you're going to bring your crew. But, great job, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's had a terrible couple of years. United States Youth Match Racing Champion, Governor's Cup Champion, World Champion, just sailed brilliantly. And, this is tough. The old age and treachery got youth and enthusiasm here. All right. Well, thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you. Jordan, stay up here. Jordan, should we bring up Jordan's crew and introduce them, please?
Alrighty, team. So first up, we have George Angus. He's our kite trimmer. Yeah, give him a clap. He deserves it. And then next up here, we've got Mitch Jackson, who's the main and bow. So.
Well, let me start with, I didn't know, Mitch, that, we talked a bit last night, but evidently you had an asthma attack or something, and we have a lovely hospital here. I'm certainly glad got to see all the sights. But
yeah, I don't know what happened, but I ended up in hospital on Wednesday night till about 1 in.the.morning and had a pretty rough night's sleep because I left high on steroids, so I didn't get to sleep till about 2:30 in the morning. And then we had probably our biggest day the next day to probably be able to get back into it. So.
Well, it all worked out.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
It was worth
pretty
it.
Awesome. Yeah, all right.
You guys need to do something about your pollution over here.
I'm all for it, but most of these people are Republicans. Yeah, you don't know what that means, but believe me, they do. Okay, well, George, we interviewed you this morning. What do you have to say for yourself now?
Oh, pretty stoked, eh?
Sweet. Morgan Pinckney says you stole his line. But
Oh, is that right?
yeah, there you go. All right. Well, how was it? That last. Do you guys practice that? The spin and win move at the end there.
Oh, yeah, I think we practiced it somewhere in the round robin, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. So you don't spend a lot of time on that. But boy, it's a tough maneuver. But when it's done properly, it turns out into good things like the Governor's Cup here. So, well, guys, you guys are a credit to New Zealand and to the Royal Yacht Squadron development program. And it's incredible. We've had a whole bunch of winners from the squadron who have gone on to great things in this sport, and I know you guys will. And we look forward to having at least, you guys are still you can still come back. So, find some other hotshot skipper like, Robbie McCutcheon or something and come back.
It'd be hard to replace Jordan.
Well, no, I agree. Jordan's pretty much irreplaceable, but great job. Honestly, the experience in match racing, probably more any other part of the sport that I know of, is just number of races you've done. And Jordan was the most experienced sailor here, and I think the experience finally won out. There were a few little moments there, though, but being behind 1-2 in the semifinals, and so great stuff. Just real champions come from behind and do it well. You did.
Cheers, Andy. Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right.
Gentlemen, stay here for a moment because we have a representative, a senior board member, director from Long Beach Yacht Club, Tony Mansour. Tony, we're going to change the staging. If you'd come up on the end, please. Tony, of course, from that famous yacht club up the shore here, and they have both the Congressional Cup but also the Ficker Cup. You can widen that shot out. Thank you, guys. What a good camera crew we have. And Tony, you have a presentation to make to Jordan.
Yes, I do. And first of all, thank you, Balboa Yacht Club and Race Committee and all 12 competitor teams for some of the best match racing I've ever seen. So, Jordan, I'll be the 2023 Ficker Cup chairman, and it is my honor to present you with an invitation, and I hope you can make it out next spring.
I should say that for those of you who don't know, the Congressional Cup is the oldest continually sailed, major match race thing, and really reinvigorated match racing in this country and in the world. I was fortunate to sail quite a few times, I think 10 or 11 of them. But we patterned the Governor's Cup after the Congressional Cup. Tom Purcell's dad had been up and watched the Congressional Cup and said, well, why don't we do this for young people? And so the two cups and the two clubs have been very close ever since. And we appreciate the year that 2016, when the Congressional Cup came down here to visit with the Governor's Cup and the America's Cup. I believe that's the only time it's ever been out of the city of Long Beach. So we really appreciate that. The Ficker Cup is a pathway to the Congressional Cup, and you win that, or maybe sometimes get second, and you get to sail in the Congressional Cup against the big guys. And trust me, right now, the top of this fleet is as good as any of them. All right? Thanks.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, gentlemen. We're going to have you back up for the prize giving in a moment. And that, unless Andy's got the final word, unless we have anything else on the presser.
Am I done?
Well, if you want to be, but you if you want to stay, you can.
No, I think I'll hang out over near the bar.
Me too. Let's go.
Andy Rose.
I will say one of you guys. I just meant what I said. This is always my second Christmas week, and again, it was a fabulous Christmas week. The sailors, the parents, everybody we've met have been just terrific. Only 3 skippers here are not eligible because of age next year. We have a whole bunch of 19 or 20-year-olds, and then this 17-year-old who are likely to be here over the next couple of years. So it's going to be fabulous. I can hardly wait for next year already. So thank you so much. You guys were great interviews. You're great sailors, and you're a credit to your yacht clubs and your nations. Thank you.
Perfect. Bring me a cocktail, too. I'm stuck up here. And now we're going to do the prize giving with any luck. As you can see, Christine and her committee and the Commodore and the Vice Commodore have laid everything out. And who's opening, Christine? Is Paul or are you? Where's Christine Gribben? I think Christine Gribben, the regatta chair, is going to open the prize giving. You're going to sit up here with us? What a good idea.
Commodore Blank, would you like to say anything? I can't see him. I know he's there. He is.
He's right over here.
Yes. The answer is no. Okay. Okay. So I have a few people I would like to thank, and Don Becker would like to thank some people too, but I want to thank him and his race committee. Don, if you would like to come up and say a couple words.
Just a couple words. First of all, I apologize for the kerfuffle at the gate. I have to take responsibility for that. It was my fault. But I would like to say one thing that I remembered about studying Sir Thomas Lipton. He said, "Remember who the customers are," and my view was it was best for the customers that we just blow those races off and do them over again. I'd like to thank my race committee who did an outstanding job this week. Mark said we had Jim Wentz, Carl Kimmey, Randy Cochran, Roger Neely, Jeff Teig, my good buddy, Melanie Nichols, Chris Carlson, C.K. Hands, and Wes Selby. Those guys did a great job on that. They kept up with me on the wind shifts. We had a little difficulty with the current in the line, but we kept it square. On my boat, we had my buddy Bob Strang, Jill Golden, Pam Kreiser, Nancy Davidson, Pinky Green. Pinky, I love to having you on the boat anytime with me. Staff Commodore's wife, Sally Cannon, Jane Hoffner, Charlie Foss, and Sabrina Carr. These guys all did a really great job, and I think I'd put them up against anybody.
Thanks, Don. A few other people, I would like to thank my committee for all the hours that you put in. The umpires that came from near and far. Thank you, Chief Umpire Flavio. Our wonderful bosun, headed by Mr. Newman over yonder, and Patrick Lieber. Our media, headed by Chris Bretschker. All of the other volunteers who helped behind the scenes, we couldn't have done it without you. And of course, our BYC staff. Please give a loud round of applause for them. And last but not least, my husband who lets me do this, Kevin. And now, going to have Commodore Blank, Vice Commodore LeBay, and Rear Commodore Taylor come up here, please.
You're going to go down in front to do this, right? You're going to announce it from up there? I think you go down.
Okay.
I think you all go down there. Wait, where's my box? I'm not standing near him. Where's my box?
We're going to start with 12th place. Porter Cavley, Jake Vickers, Nick Sessions. Will you please come up from Eastport Yacht Club and receive once again the Sportsmanship Perpetual Trophy, the technically perpetual. The plate. Stand right there. No, the plate. Plate.
Christine, give us a bit of an explanation, if you would, please, on this sportsmanship, and tell us who won it last year.
It was won last year by the same team. And in 11th place from the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron, Robbie McCutcheon, Sam Street, Chester Duffett, and Lily Brennan.
We have to have you guys over here, please. Come right over here by the hardware. Bronny, can you not stand up in front of that camera, please? Oh, sorry. Mary, can you not stand up in front of that camera? Can you switch seats with that?
All right.
Mary,
Cool.
can you
All
just
right.
switch seats?
You can go get a picture. Bye. Okay. And in 10th place from Coronado Yacht Club, Ansgar Jordan, Sam Merson, and Jack Flores. And in 9th place from the Royal Freshwater Bay Yacht Club, Marcello Torri, Adam Brinzin, and Rafael Tor.
Thank you.
And in 8th place from the Royal Thames Yacht Club, Robbie King, Ken Sherb, Sarah Raudebush, and Mariana Shand. In 7th place from Newport Harbor Yacht Club, Morgan Pinkney, Peter Sangmeister, and Will Glasson. And for 6th place, the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, Will Sargent, Jake Littlefield, Nathan Gullickson. And 5th place, also from the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, Cole Tapper, Finn Tapper, and George Richardson. And 4th place from the Royal Gothenburg Yacht Club in Sweden, Marius Westerland, Hugo Vestberg, and Ollie Aronson. Please come up. 4th place. Where's your crew? Everybody go in the middle. Over there.
Marius, do you want to say something? You're pretty good at talking.
Well, yeah, I just want to thank the selecting committee for choosing us to come back here, although we were last year. Yeah, we always look forward to coming here, and it's been an amazing event. And although I thought 4th place might save us from coming up here, as you can see by how I'm dressed, my crew seem to have figured out how to dress themselves. So yeah. Oh yeah, big thanks anyways to everybody, and yeah, thank you.
And in 3rd place from the San Diego Yacht Club, Jack Egan, Jack Plavin, Christoph Charmont, and Kayla Woodward. Face the audience. Right here.
Nice. Just like the Olympics.
Okay. Come on down the middle. Stand next to
Yeah, just real quick, reiterating what a lot Marius just said. Huge thank you to Balboa Yacht Club for putting on this great event. Race committee, umpires, all of the above. Thank you so much. Congrats to Jordan. It was a fun series with you, and look forward to next year.
And in second place from Balboa Yacht Club, Jeffrey Peterson, Max Brennan, and Scott Mays.
Well, first off, I want to thank Scott and Max for an incredible. It's been 2 weeks now that we've been sailing back to back, so almost 20 days together straight. So we've had our moments, but it's been a real pleasure racing with the two of them at the Worlds and at this event. I really want to thank everyone involved in making this event possible. The race committee, the umpires, you guys did a fantastic job. I apologize about the checks in the mail joke earlier. You guys really kept us honest, fair racing. So really big thank you to them. Thank you to the Balboa Yacht Club for all the support that you guys show for our team out there on the water. It's really awesome to hear you guys' support and cheers, and for putting on such an incredible event. And we also want to thank my parents, mom and dad, for making this all possible. Also, just really want to really quickly want to thank our sponsors, Dr. Robert Bray and the Sport and Spine Center, for really helping us all out. He's fixed a few of our crew members as Tyler celebrates, and he's been an incredible supporter of our campaign and continuing to match race, as well as Hark and Durham. They've been incredible in helping us stay protected out on the water. To Jordan and your team, well sailed event. You guys gave us a hell of a run, and congratulations. Thank you.
And now in first place and the 2022 Governor's Cup champion from the Royal New Zealand Yacht Squadron, Jordan Stevenson, Matt Jackson, and George Angus.
Hey everyone, I won't keep you too long, but I've just got a few quick thank yous to say. First of all, to the boys here, absolutely outstanding effort. We battled through, all 5 days, pretty hectic considering we're 40 kegs underweight as well. So these boys worked their butts off. Huge thank you, and absolutely couldn't have done it without you guys. So cheers for that. Next up, huge thank you to all the volunteers, umpires, race committee, bosuns. This event always is run like perfectly. We have no complaints, and yeah, thought it was an absolutely awesome week racing. So yeah, huge thank you to everyone who's volunteered their time. Next up, Tony and Barry McManus at the back there somewhere, our lovely host family. Yeah. They've shown absolutely amazing hospitality, and we really couldn't ask for any more. So huge thank you to you guys, and yeah, we've loved it, every minute of it. Next up, I know most of you guys know, and I'm sure he knows, but thank you to Andy Rose. This event wouldn't happen without you, mate. Wherever you are, around there. There he is. Big thanks, mate. Big thanks, and Tom Eamon as well. The way this is run with Sailing Illustrated getting amongst it as well, it just makes it such an awesome event. Yeah, we really couldn't be happier being here. Have I forgotten anything? Mum and Dad? Yeah, huge thanks to all the supporters back home, Mum, Dad, girlfriends. You know, they've all been sitting there cheering for us, and yeah, we appreciate all the support, guys. So huge thank you to everyone, and also I think on that note, I should probably say a huge congrats to Jeffrey and his team, as well as Jack, and then Marius as well. Like, honestly, the racing today and yesterday was crazy. It was a couple of awesome series with Jack and Jeffrey as well. And then I guess on a personal note, I mean, I raced Jeffrey a few years ago, and that was probably the last time. And I can definitely say that you and the boys, Jeff, have come a long way since then. So big ups to you guys. Really appreciate the great racing, and yeah, let's get on the beers.
We've got one announcement from Will Bolden. We are going to do a coach's corner after all. Will Bolden. Quick. With Christine right here, please.
Just really quickly, I'll try and be serious for 1 second. So obviously I think the Governor's Cup is the premier youth match racing event globally, but down in Perth we still do exist, and we're all still alive down there. The Warren Jones Regatta will be held I believe it's the first week of February or possibly the last week of January next year. So please, all the teams that are here, if you put an application in, I'm sure you'll get invited. So please come down and join us down there in a few months' time. Thanks.
Thank you all for coming. We'll see you all next year.
For those of you watching, please like, follow, and share. Comments are welcome too, even in replay. Thank you very much. See you next year.